Chloe Cerino, and I'm a registered dietitian at Balance Eating Disorder Treatment Center. With Thanksgiving just around the corner, I wanted to talk about a few tips to help you manage the holiday while in recovery. Tip number 1, create a support system. Identify who you'll be spending the holiday with, whether it's in person or on a video call, and think about who out of this group you feel comfortable leaning on for support. Give them a call or send them a text message in advance and let them know what about the holiday feels stressful to you. Is it the food, the conversations you anticipate, the feelings you think might come up afterwards, or maybe something else? Ask them to help you create a plan to navigate the challenges that might come up. If you don't feel comfortable talking with anyone who will be in attendance, ask another close friend or a different loved one instead. Tip number 2, be compassionate and gentle with yourself. Thanksgiving is a day that often is centered around food, including a large meal. Take a moment before your holiday event begins and check in with yourself. How are you feeling, and what skills do you have to manage any anxiety that might be arising in that moment? Remind yourself that you have permission to eat and to eat a meal, even if it is a larger one than what you'd normally have. After your event or your meal has ended, check in with yourself again. Ask yourself once more how you're feeling and what skills you have to manage any anxiety or any urges that might have come up. If you have strong urges to use behaviors, check in with your support system, such as the person or the people that you identified in tip number 1, and let them know how you're feeling so you can work together to come up with a plan to manage the urges. Tip number 3, come up with a plan in advance. Just like we talked about in the first tip, leaning on your support system can be one of the best ways to navigate Thanksgiving and other holidays. If you're working with a therapist, a registered dietitian, or any other team member, be sure to let them know how you're feeling about the holiday. Work together to devise a plan in advance for what you'll do before, during, and after your holiday event, and how relapse can be prevented. Write down your plan and keep it somewhere that's easily accessible on Thanksgiving Day so it's right at your fingertips if you need it. Tip number 4, remember that all foods are allowed. All foods really do fit. Remember that there are no good foods and no bad foods. When you're filling your plate on Thanksgiving Day, keep these words in the forefront of your mind and allow yourself permission to choose dishes based on your taste preference and in quantities based on your appetite rather than the perceived moral value of these foods. Tip number 5, avoid making or focusing on any negative food comments. It's not uncommon to hear family members grumbling about feelings of fullness and food judgments around the Thanksgiving table. Avoid engaging with these comments or choose to actively combat them. If you're feeling up to it, speak up and let your family or friends know that feelings of fullness are not bad and that no foods have any moral value. Remember that Thanksgiving is a day to celebrate the things we're grateful for and to enjoy with our families or our friends, and not to focus on body or negative food judgments. Tip number 6, avoid interacting with social media pages that promote dieting, weight loss, or fitness. This tip goes for every day, but it's especially important around the holidays. Unfollow, mute, or block accounts that post about dieting or weight loss. These accounts tend to ramp up this not so helpful content around the holidays, and they are not supportive to your recovery. Choose to fill your feed with more supportive accounts that promote positive body image, food freedom, and an anti-diet lifestyle. Our accounts can be found in the description box below. If you're a loved one of someone with an eating disorder, click the link below to our blog post with more information about navigating Thanksgiving with a loved one who might be struggling. While you're there, you can check out our many other blog posts about eating disorders and the recovery process. Thank you so much for watching, and have a very happy Thanksgiving.